Yeah, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy King Babic here. Bring you some shooting tips and tricks, do's and don'ts. Let's increase that 3-point percentage, baby. So I'm gonna read you this from Mike Wang. This was on Reddit, and this kind of describes why we're shooting the way we are. One of the goals for shooting this year was to get the shot percentages more in line with NBA averages. Definitely lower than what you've seen over the past couple of years, so if you're shooting 40 to 50% from 3, you're doing really well. If you're in the 30s, you're still hitting your targets for a decent shooter. Just want everyone to adjust their expectations that averaging below 60% is normal and by design. Now, if you're an 85 plus rated shooter and averaging below 20%, you probably need to hit the practice gym or take better shots. So Mike Wang right there taking a shot at the community, and you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? Well, point blank, it just means that 3-point shooting and shooting in general is harder this year, and that was by design. And here's Mike Wang again on Twitter saying, there's no RNG. It's completely skill-based, just saying the green window sizes are tuned being the key word here, to try and get the community as a whole shooting more realistic field goal percentages, makes more build ties viable, and makes for better basketball. And you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? Fortunately, I have to assume tuned just means the green window size is smaller, unfortunately. So it's going to be harder to shoot this year. We're going to have to be more savvy than we were last year to be able to get our field goal percentages up from both mid and 3. And obviously this sent the 2K community into a spiral. It's hard to figure out this year. It's definitely a learning curve. Here I'm showing you guys my Twitter feed where I found that statement, and here you can see everyone going absolutely crazy. The 2K devs made it definitely really hard. Here I'm showing you guys that man's talking about the latency, a lot of latency complaints. So we're gonna learn how to combat this in just a second. Alright y'all, now we're gonna learn some things to combat some of those changes that the devs made to 2K this year, hopefully improve your shooting. I know it's helped mine. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the features tab here at the bottom. We're gonna go top left, we're gonna go to the settings. And the first thing I really think you should change here is the shot feedback. Make sure that's on all shots so you can see the feedback on your shot as well as your teammates' shots. I think it's super helpful, especially if you're playing with a squad, if they're shooting shots that aren't green, and just talking to them about it, see if they felt it was early, late, etc. Because I know there's some issue with latency and stuff like that this year. This patch that just came out recently was supposed to combat some of that stuff in the park and whatnot. I don't know if it has. One of the fix for the latency that they've been saying, I haven't touched it so I really can't confirm either way, is if you scroll all the way to the bottom of this menu, there's a setting there where you can turn on and off crossplay. I still have it on right now. I'm trying to work through it and see if the patch helped, but that's my take. But definitely have the shot feedback on all shots. That'll definitely help. The next menu I want you to go into is controller settings here. And then some of this is preference, some of it will be must-haves, but for me, the vibration function, some people don't like it. You can turn that on or off. That doesn't really bother me. The trigger effect. But getting to the more important stuff here, shot timing. I have that on shots and layups. We'll come back to the cue at the end of this real quick. The jump shot meter, turn that off, learn your jump shot. A lot of us played 2K23 for so long, we could just shoot our jumper just off of feeling. Like a lot of people could just close their eyes and green. Now we're gonna have to really look at our animations, turn the meter off. That's supposed to give us a 20% boost this year. 20% boost to our green window. We definitely need that given that the green windows have shrunk this year. And then the shot timing visual cue. Here 2K changed it. Instead of very early, slightly late, and very late, they changed it to these words here. And you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't really know what this means. Essentially, think of these words in correlation of your actual jump shot. So as a shot timing cue, jump is literally when your player jumps. It's going to be different for all jump shots and animations, but to kind of cover everything. Jump, when your player first leaves the ground, that's going to be your cue to release square. Set point being slightly early. Think of that as like a shooter's wrist when they load up. When they first initially load to shoot the ball, that'll be that green cue. Push will be kind of more towards, depending on the jump shot, like I said before, it's going to depend on the specific animation you have, but push is going to be basically when they're flicking their wrist, and then release is basically more on the end of the follow through. So like I said again, 2K just changed the wording on this. Very early, slightly late, very late. I prefer push this year, I think. I've been going back and forth between set point and push. I use slightly early in 2K23, but I think I'm gravitating more towards push, so give that setting a try. Alright, y'all. This next thing I just at least want you guys to be aware of is the Art of Shooting gym right here in the city. And if you're looking at your map, and this is basically the center, it's going to be off to the right here, conveniently located by the subway station here, City East. And what this place is actually for your hot zones. Unfortunately, I had done mine already, so I can't show you, but I didn't want to delay the video. But essentially, all you're going to do is you're going to go in here and talk to this man right here who just hit that smooth layup. And he's going to give you a drill to where you're going to select 2 hot zones on the court. As you can see, if you bring up the grid with the touchpad, you can see him. You'll pick 2 zones, and you'll have to shoot 10 shots from each zone. And as long as you perform up to par, you're going to increase the zones from either blue to, I think, neutral to red, and then red to lethal. The lethal will be purple. Alright, y'all, this is probably the most important part of all of this, is just going to the Gatorade facility and just putting up shots. Hopefully you guys recognize this place and know how to get up here. If you don't, it's in the back of the Gatorade facility. I think it's by the agility ladders is what they're called. You're going to go to that doorway and you're going to reserve a private court. These tips and tricks in practice have definitely helped me. Here, as you can see, I'm shooting on an 85 3 ball. My 3-point percentage isn't too crazy in the city, only 44%. And then in the rec, it's 50%. It was a lot lower this year, but I am consistently switching jump shots, trying to find out what works best for me. Then here, you're just going to go on the court and you're just going to put up a bunch of shots. You're going to start off here, just putting up a bunch of standstill shots, especially if you're like just a spot up shooter. You're going to take note of the timings in the bottom. You're going to use that information with each shot and just continue shooting until you can just hit a bunch in a row. Here I got 2 in a row. Let's see how many we can get. Probably won't be too crazy here. Oh, 3 in a row. The 2K gods are shining upon you, boy. We'd love that for us. And here we're off. And then after that, especially if you're an ISO player, you're just going to try to combo up here and just try to shoot off the dribble. Don't really have much of a mid-range, but you can see I got slightly early there. So you just want to learn your animations inside and out. I also include all layups and dunks. I go in here and just see what animations I'll get for my layups. That'll definitely help. If you do this every day, you'll definitely increase your shooting percentage, I promise you. I know it wasn't intended. Mike Wang and the devs intended the shooting to be a lot more difficult this year. They want to bring the 3-point percentage more in line with the NBA, and they've definitely achieved that. But if you keep working on it, you can definitely increase your 3-point shooting percentage. But like I said, I hope this helps y'all. If it did, like, comment. If you could subscribe, that would greatly be appreciated. Definitely help the channel grow. But that's all I got for this one, guys. I appreciate y'all. King Babic signing off. Peace.